Our mission is threefold. There's an education component, sustainability, and food security.
We just wanted to make good, healthy food available to people who wouldn't normally have access to it, and kind of thwart the idea that only people with like affluence and money can afford to eat healthy, because it should just be a right that every person has.
We do have a CSA, which helps financially sustain the farm, and then we sell some of it at Tower Grove Market, and then a lot of our goal is to keep a fair amount of the food in the neighborhood, so some of it goes to the North City Farmers Market.
We give out food vouchers to local food pantries, and so people can come and use those vouchers to buy food.
This land was available, and everyone just like borrowed money from wherever they could and bought it, and started the CSA, which is the Community Supported Agricultural Program, where shareholders buy in at the beginning of the season and pick up food throughout the year.
Essentially, community members invest in the farm. The farmer then has money for seed and gas and supplies for the season, and in exchange, shareholders get a portion of vegetables or fruit or both once a week, and we do 10 pounds.
We try to invite the shareholders to come participate as much as possible. So, I took that invitation, back in 2006, that summer, and just started coming around and seeing how everything was happening and just realizing how totally sweet it was. And I was really ready at that point in my life to do something that was very that was just more community based, and that something that was very goal oriented and project oriented, and you could actually see the results of, instead of just kind of living in this abstract idea of what to do for the world.
We do the education component by having the youth program on Tuesdays and Fridays, which are our harvest days, and we also have groups of students come for field trips, and we also just give tours to different garden clubs or whoever asks for one, basically.
The goal would be just from a young age, for kids to start getting the connection back with growing their own food and just getting their hands dirty, and working with soil and the earth, and seeing the connection early on that oh, this is where my food comes from, and not just comes from a box or a can or McDonald's or wherever.
We're trying to just teach people a lot, how they can take what we've learned and do it in their own backyards if they want.
We got a grant from SARE, which is Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education, to do a solar-powered aquaponics system. An aquaponics system it combines aquaculture and hydroponics, and it raises fish with plants in water. So in the tank behind us here, we're going to raise tilapia, and then in these raised beds there'll be sprouts and microgreens. We'll also start all our seedlings in those beds, and so the fish's poop provides the fertilizer for the system, and then the plants, and also there's a filtration bed down here, provide all the filtration for the system. So in a way it mimics a natural ecosystem.
We're always adding organic material to our beds so that we can guarantee that we'll have something to grow in instead of just depleting the soil.
Most of the land is assumed to be polluted with lead in St. Louis. So to tackle that problem, we built on top of it. And so we brought in all the soil that we grow in. We also test every year. We test leaves, we test the fruit of things, we test root vegetables, and we also test the soil for lead content, just to make sure that we're not giving away polluted vegetables.
So much of what we need in our lives is taken care of from a very far away source, and I think people, part of our goal for teaching people how to grow their own food, or or seeing other people grow their own food, is in part to increase food security, meaning that it's just safer, it's more dependable because it's local. It won't completely collapse if the food system collapses or if the transportation system that supports the food system collapses. But it's also just, to really encourage people to take care of themselves, to do it for themselves, to not depend on a larger entity to take care of themselves, whether it's, corporations or the government or whatnot, is that people can grow food and it's easy to do.